All of you, get out of my way. Bruh, you literally collapsed last chapter. We're gonna beat your dumb bubblegum built like All Might. Look. Before we open this review of chapter 319 of My Hero Academia, please do me a favor and leave your own thoughts on the chapter in the comment section down below. Leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, make sure you hit that little notification bell so you don't miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Now, let's get into it. What's up, guys? I got the pencil here, and here we are to review chapter 319 of My Hero Academia, which is known officially as Friends. And honestly, it was a little corny, but I can rock with this kind of corny. Like, I can rock with this kind of cheesiness. Let's get right into it. So we open up with a bomb color page. And does anyone else forget that Ida has red eyes in the manga? Like, for some reason, the anime made it blue, but I understand why, because like the red eyes make him look low-key demonic. But still, it kind of like throws me off every time I see him colored in the manga, considering how rare it is. Whenever I see them red eyes, they throw me off. But we open up with this color page, and Bakugo instantly, he knows off rip. Bruh, he's with Endeavor. He's with Endeavor in the top 3. Come on now, this is light work. But the thing is, the interesting thing that I get to see is that this supposedly takes place. Oh wait, no. To be fair, they could have. No, that doesn't make sense. This is a few days after Midoriya left UA High. So why are they only figuring this out now? And why is Bakugo only ripping up the letter now? This seems like a day one Bakugo rips up, bada bing, bada boom. He figures it out. But regardless, it's fine. I don't know why. Just a few days things threw me off. And you can tell my man was being overly dramatic when he ripped through that letter, because all the people looking at him like, bro, that was literally a handwritten letter from the boy. Why'd you do that? And the thing is, Tenya, my boy, he's out here being logical. I know no one cares about Tenya, but I still care about Tenya. He's one of my favorite characters from the series, mainly because of the Stain arc. My man hasn't done anything since, but still, I still love him for that. So he brings up the question of like, yo, like, y'all can't contact your mentors? Like, this isn't that complicated of a suspicion to confirm. You can literally just ring them up. You all have their numbers. What's the dealio here? And then Tokuyami comes out with the facts, and so does Bakugo, and so does Best Jean. Why did I say Best Jean? And so does Todoroki. They can't contact any of their mentors. None of them respond. And Todoroki's like, I know they're all super busy, but come on now, they have to be hiding something from us. And like, to be fair, I kind of get that, but y'all do realize like the world's in absolute chaos right now. What if every time you try to call them, they're getting jumped by villains? Like, this is not impossible. But still, I know why they're suspicious, because they're like, bruh, where's Midoriya at? Come on now, we need our green-haired broccoli boy. And the thing is, Jiro comes out the clutch and is like, yo, All Might hasn't come back either. And they also just explained the whole rundown of UA. They said, bada bing, bada boom, you have nothing, because class has been suspended, their graduation has been delayed. But the thing is, are these third-year students by this point have Tamaki and Mirio, not Tamaki and Mirio, Tamaki and Edre, have they already graduated? Well, no, Mirio's back too. So has Mirio graduated already? Are these is this class 3A at this point? I don't know what they mean by graduation. That may be a mistranslation thing, but I feel like these kids are like 16. I'm not sure what the graduation age is, but I'm pretty sure like Mirio, the big three essentially are upperclassmen, and they're like 18. I'm pretty sure like the oldest kid in class 1A is still like 16, maybe 17 at most. I really didn't think they were on graduation year, but hey, whatever. And the thing is, we get to see that they're all putting the pieces together. They're all like formulating all the information they have, because Bakugo like goes on the fact that Best Jeanist, and I don't know why he calls him Spatula Bird. That is a really weird name for hawks. Spatula Bird. I don't get that one, but whatever. Thing is, Bakugo's like, they contacted him, him being Midoriya, at the hospital. And the thing is, for anyone to have given the letters under the door, or given us these letters, they would have had to be in UA, and the only person, if Midoriya had already left to be at UA, would be All Might. And to be fair, that doesn't make much sense. Midoriya literally could have just waited till y'all were asleep, and then just slid the letters out your door, and then left. It doesn't have to be All Might, but whatever, I see what you mean. And we get to see that Aoyama, see, like, you know that traitor thing I mentioned? I think I mentioned that last chapter review, but that traitor thing that we were discussing where Aoyama might be the traitor is coming out. Like, the way he looking mad suspicious, like, even at the beginning of the chapter, he looks mad suspicious with the way he's looking. But to be fair, everyone looks mad suspicious because they're also tiny. But the way that Aoyama's like sweating, and he's like, if we know he's with adults, shouldn't that be alleviate our worries? And the thing is, Aoyama is like shaky speech bubble. He's not confident, he's not declaring, he's not big bad Aoyama. He's subtle right now. He's suppressed, and that seems shady, bruh. I could definitely see the traitor scenario. But the thing is, Midoriya is still the hot topic, and he and the rest of the class well, no, not he, Bakugo and the rest of the class are just determined to find Midoriya. And here, I'm proud of her, Araka. There you go, girl. You go get it. Because she's the one who comes with the idea that, hey, yo, Endeavor is a UA alumni. Let's be a little pushy. That panel, I was like, yeah, haven't fought anything yet. But that's good, using that brain. You go ahead. I like that. I like when my characters think, and I like when their thinking succeeds. Because apparently, despite being super busy right now, like literally supposed to be watching over Midoriya and protecting the citizens, kind of busy right now, I mean, well, actually, no, this may make sense. No, this is risky. Actually, no, a few more days later. So this could definitely be a while afterwards. So it could be entirely possible that the heroes from the US or just from the other nations have arrived at this point, so Endeavor has a little more breathing room, and that's how he can come and visit UA, because they do mention another few days time skip. But the thing is, Nezu looks like so awkward in this panel. I don't know why, it just throws me off. But then we get to see that Endeavor's like, bruh, you really played your boy. How could you do this to me? And the thing is, Nezu's like, you know, they were kind of spitting, bro. I had to call you here. That's essentially what he says. And I don't know. I find Nezu great. I wish we got more of them. But to be fair, there's so many characters here. Just look at 1A. Like, I think one of them even says, I don't really know anything about Midoriya. I've never interacted with the dude, but I lived with him for a year. He's one of my classmates for a year, so I care about it. Because, like, Horikoshi, despite having 300 chapters, had too many characters to try and develop and give their own character arcs to, in the midst of trying to have a whole other group of characters. My Hero Academia is too cluttered with characters. Not too cluttered, because to be fair, you can argue that all these characters serve their respective purpose. And to be fair, the rest of UA's purpose really is just to fill up that roster. But it's in the moments like these where these characters who have had little to no interaction with Midoriya are suddenly supposed to care, like as genuinely as the characters who have had a lot of interaction with Midoriya. That's when, like, it falls short, because these characters are empty. But to be fair, that's not necessarily a problem that only Horikoshi has. That's a problem that a lot of mangaka who don't limit their character count run into. When you have too many named characters, too many characters who are supposed to stick on your audience mind, that's when you start to run into not character problems, characterization problems and character interaction problems, because you only have so much panel time. If you, like, maybe doubled the length of My Hero Academia up until this point, then you probably could have given every single character at least some moments with Midoriya that they can all feel connected to. But obviously you can't do that, so I'm not surprised about this. But it still sounded sad, but an interesting note to have, considering how important this moment is, considering it's based on the interactions of the UA students with Midoriya that makes them want to risk their life and go out there into that chaotic world. Because we get to see that Shoto is mad at his father for not contacting him, because they were about to stop Toya together, but obviously a different situation came up, and this different situation is the whole Midoriya and All Might situation. Like, the simple fact that Whole for One is right now getting gains, getting swollen Shigaraki's body, he's lifting them weights, getting super strong, and like they need to stop him exponentially. Like, if All Might is, no, if All for One is allowed to reach his full power, world's over. That's endgame. That's the real thing, because I know the kids don't really know that much about that. They may not even care that much, because it's all about Midoriya right now. But the thing is, the longer they wait, especially if they bring Midoriya, that's the catch-22. And that's the thing I've always talked about with, like, the plot / non-existent plot. Like, the thing is, I understand what this plot does. I think I mentioned this in last week's video too on My Hero Academia. But I get what this plot does. It's supposed to wear Midoriya out, and thus the wild goose chase nature of the arc that has no clear through line other than the end goal of finding All for One. Despite that being a thing, the reason that this arc, regardless of its like lack of clear direction, is very pressing, is because of the fact that if All for One reaches full power, it's essentially endgame. We're really are in the endgame on some Doctor Strange type beat, because there's no stopping him. Even this Midoriya isn't gonna stop him. Say we give this Midoriya like a whole week's rest, we give him Recovery Girl, boost up, heal him to 100%. Even with Fajin, I don't think, unless that healing factor allows him to give full 100% access to like 100% one for all in terms of raw power, and then he can stack Fajin on top of that. If he's only reaching that like pseudo 100% level with Fajin still, I think an All for One Shigaraki is still gonna wash Midoriya. So you really want to stop him beforehand. But I get what the kids want. They want him back. And Bakugo is the first one who knows Midoriya so well. He's like, bruh, he's wild. If you let him run wild, which you're doing, he will literally just destroy himself. We cannot let him All Might himself. Please let us help. And of course, Endeavor's like, Man, fine. And I love the way Endeavor rationalizes it. He's like, we do need to help him. We need to match his pace and support him from the sidelines, but me, Hawks, and Best Genius can't do that alone. He sighs and throws the GPS. And the thing is, they all run and catch it. And it's interesting the characters who do go and catch it. It's Hagakure, Sero, Mineta, and Koda. I don't know, it's a very interesting lineup. But, and the thing is, but that's where the issue comes in, at least. I guess that's why Horikoshi gave him that moment of catching the phone, because none of these characters, except for maybe Mineta, but even then, I don't think so. None of these characters, and Sero had that, I think that was a filler scene in the anime, though, where the two competed when Midoriya just got full cowling. But still, it's a thing where these 4 characters specifically, including more from Class 1A, have had little to no interaction with Midoriya. Because they just happen to be his classmate. That's all the reason that they care, but they're supposed to care as intensely as our big 3 or big 4 really in Todoroki, Ida, Uraraka, and Bakugo. So, it's fine. And the thing is, Midoriya is the homie. Essentially, that's what Ida says. Midoriya is our boy, and thus we can't smile unless we know that boy's smiling. And Endeavor, who looks so tired. See, I'm glad Horikoshi is definitely kicking up the realism, or at least in terms of stamina for these people. Like, we are focusing on Midoriya getting no rest, but you gotta realize how tired Endeavor is, and like how tired the top 3 must be, considering they're half looking over a rowdy child who's running around destroying everything, trying to be a superhero, and still trying to protect all the people that they can on their own. They're doing like a double job, essentially, an escort mission plus an actual mission, which is wild. But he's so tired, and he's still like, yo, you realize, like, there's no sense of order. Like, you can literally die at any moment, and there's nothing we can do about it. Y'all are still kids. And like Nezu says, they're grown up. And like, it's also cool to hear someone call Endeavor Todoroki. I don't know. I know everyone refers to Todoroki Shoto as Todoroki, but for me, it's always just cool to hear Endeavor being referred to as Todoroki, even though I only think it's happened like twice, maybe only once previously in the manga. But the thing is, we get to see that Nezu's like, yo, sacrifice them kids, bro. Because if they can get him back, he's allowed back. There's no problem for him coming here. And that's cool. But on top of that, Nezu's like, we have a defense system from the school cultural festival, and he calls it the UA security barrier. Our preparations will finally show their worth. Now, sounds neat, right? Doesn't sound smart still. I know y'all believe in yourselves, but you gotta realize, what will y'all do? No, they captured Gigantomachia, so they don't have Gigantomachia. But what will y'all do if Big Papa Shigaraki walks up and touches the building? He doesn't even have to walk up and touch the building anymore. What if he walks up, touches the ground like 50 yards away from the building? The man leveled an entire city, bruh. I don't think your support system, your defense system, whatever, is going to be enough to stop all for one Shigaraki controlled by Big Papa all for one. Like, that's not a combo that y'all can deal with. But at the same time, you're sitting ducks regardless. Like, even if Midoriya didn't come back, that's a hostage situation. Midoriya is caught in a 50-50, but everyone's caught in a 50-50 because if they do stay there, the reason I'm not mad at the kids for wanting to leave too, like, they may not even realize this, but subconsciously, by moving out into the world, they're preserving their lives. Because if Shigaraki walked up that day and touched the building while they're all talking right now, they're all dead instantaneously, because none of them are going to know, and the building's just going to start crumbling at a rapid speed, and they're all going to die. But to be fair, everyone who's left in there is all one touch of the ground away from one 5-finger tap on the toes to the ground, and they're all dead. That's it. They're all dead because of what Shigaraki can do now. And I think they all should know that, or at least Bakugo should know that. Like, he was there. He was a whole witness to what Shigaraki could do. So I feel like they are in a catch-22, but I guess getting Midoriya back there is the safest option. And then we get to cut back to the actual area. And of course, once again, it would have taken up too much panel time. And I know we're trying to expedite the story. It's Horikoshi's fast-paced storytelling. But I wish we got to see like the whole squad pull up like one by one, or at least they all get like a quarter panel or like a part of a panel, one by one, all dropping in. Because seeing them all in here like this, while cool, the roll-up would have been fantastic. But the thing is, we get to see that the squad is working together. We get y'all Todomomo shippers out there. Y'all got y'all little interaction. For y'all out there, I mean, I can't say I'm weird. I'm a see. Do I say that? I could get shot. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say what I'm rocking with. But we get to see the great explosion murder god Dynamite. And the thing is, Momo actually humors him with that stupid name. So whatever. Like, Bakugo, it's cool. Just call yourself Dynamite, bro. Drop the great explosion murder god. The thing is, we get to see everyone running away. Their body is back to normal. One girl just goes, he. I don't know why. There's just weird things. Then again, we get to see Midori, who's looking around like, bro, why are y'all here? And do I have to body y'all? And Uraraka, yes, sir. Yes, sir. And to be fair, like, this is not her fault. This is not like me getting... I'm not going to get mad at Uraraka for focusing on Midori here, because Midori is everyone's focus right now. He's the main character, but I'll let this slide. And I'm happy that she's the one to speak up first, considering their implied relationship. And, like, Midori goes, bruh, I'm okay, chilling. Don't worry. You shouldn't worry about me. Stay back. Relax. And Bakugo, in the most savage, like, he had some all-for-one type energy here. Like, there's no lie when he says, yo, that's good to hear. Expected it. Like, this literally sounds like something all-for-one would say. That's good to hear, as expected of His Majesty, the successor of One for All. So after all of this, can you still keep smiling? Like, he doesn't put his fingers up to his face like all-for-one did, but the way he, like, puts the thumbs up, the arrogant look, the way he's saying it, that sounds like some all-for-one stuff. And the thing is, Midoriya, I love seeing him drop it. This man's in pure depression right now, bro, and I'm loving it. I love that. You know, I love my character's mental anguish. This is heat. This is smacking. But the thing is, for Midoriya to be able to smile, for people to live in peace, he needs to keep going. So he asks for them. But the thing, I wonder... No, it's not just the mask. I guess this is just Midoriya, like, altering his voice a little bit or becoming more shaky or graded. Because when Midoriya is speaking earlier at first, he has the shaky speech bubbles, but there's not the black indentation around it, which implies, like, a voice change. But as he, like, stands back up into character, he gets the, all of you, get out of my way. And then everyone's like, bruh, just try it, bruh. Try it. And the thing is, I guess we're in a shonen manga, so the only way to bring your friend back is to jump this man. So I'm not shocked that they really are about to go on the full-out offensive, and I'm glad it's the big three. Well, not the big three, because technically Todoroki should be here instead of Ida. I know that, but I'm glad it's Bakugo, Ida, and Uraraka, his childhood friends, and his childhood friend, and the two people who first became his friend at UA, determined to bring him back first and leading the charge against them. That is super duper cool to me. I love it. However, what do I give this chapter as a whole? I give this chapter a solid, beefy, meaty 9 out of 10. I don't know. Like, the only thing is about this chapter is that it feels like it's just missing that little bit of emotional impact, considering there's not enough buildup for the entire class to be down for this. Like, Bakugo, understand completely. Ida, understand completely. Todoroki, understand completely. Uraraka, understand completely. Momo, I can see it if I squint hard enough. Mineta, though, Kaminari, though, like, there's Kirishima, I can even give him that. Asui, I can give that. But there's, like, over half our cast who's involved here doesn't really have any interaction with Midoriya. So on a sheer storytelling front, giving this chapter the benefit of the doubt and acting like the story weight is there, the character weight is there, that these characters really do care about Midoriya, and we have that established and we've seen that, then I can be like, bada bing, bada boom, this is fantastic and great. But I will simply act under the fact that that isn't the case, but the chapter, regardless of that, is still very, very good. So it gets a 9 out of 10. I love the artwork in this chapter still. Like, allow me to get in my weird little bag real quick. Once again, I love the contrast between the way Midoriya is drawn and the way the other characters are drawn. I love the extra detail. Well, to get into the Midoriya thing, Midoriya is drawn with a lot more jagged line work. Meanwhile, everyone else has their same smooth, clear, buttery line work that Horikoshi is known for. Then you have all the extra details, such as our characters who have been resting and have essentially been doing nothing, having no bags under their eyes. They seem very healthy, all that good stuff. But our two main characters who are super tired, have been working super hard, aka Endeavor, are constantly drawn with, like, tired lines, bags under their eyes, stressed, dirty, unclean, unshaven. Like, these people look like they've been working super hard, which they have. I love the artistic definition between that. And while, to be fair, I give Horikoshi credit once again as an artist, I can see why he needed a week break for this one, because golly, He drew a lot of characters in this one, all in the same outfit too. I know that had to become tedious drawing that exact same outfit so many different times, especially considering like they're all around the same shape and size. Like there's very little variation. There's just like slight variation on the women, but like he had to draw that same UA outfit for a one panel like five times over for the same kind of people. So I love how Jiro's like hidden behind Uraraka's head. But regardless of that, what do I think about the fight that's gonna happen next chapter? Midoriya's gonna get washed. Like there's two ways this fight can go. Either Midoriya gets washed because of a dude super tired, like he's flaring up with One for All, and we know that adrenaline can apparently carry Midoriya to 1,000,000%. I'm kidding, I know it's not real, but I'm just never getting over that. The thing is, I think he is too tired. I feel like he's gonna get washed, and I also think part of it is that he's not gonna be able to hurt his friends. Like he's still. The thing is, Midoriya hasn't like fallen. Like he's on the way there. Like he's definitely going downwards. But he hasn't fallen to the point where he's actually going to attack his friends with like full force, full malice. I know he isn't. So I feel like they may just blitz him, knock him, not blitz him, but they're gonna defeat him. It may take a chapter. It may even take half a chapter. Or the more interesting route, at least for me, is that bada bing, bada boom. Someone interrupts, someone shows up, or like some extra villain, some extra escapee. I'm not sure who would be left at this point out of the people Midoriya's fought specifically, outside of maybe like Gentle. Like, Gentle could show up and be like, what an extravagant show. I love your display of camaraderie and friendship, but I do have to have a word with that young Midoriya, or that young Deku, or whatever you would call him. That would be cool. Or really Stain showing up with the hostage All Might. Because to be fair, we have no idea where All Might is right now. Because last we saw him, he had collapsed on his knees, and Stain was very, very close by. So a conversation between All Might and Stain, or Stain holding All Might hostage, or like All Might pretending to be held hostage to order to get Midoriya to calm down and like see reason and get some rest, all that cool stuff. There's a whole ton of things that could possibly happen next chapter. The most interesting though would be like something with All Might / Stain, or like any of Midoriya's past villains showing up and interrupting this fight. But what I expect to happen mainly is just the fight to show up and pop off. That would be fine. But that's enough of what I think. What do you think is gonna happen next chapter? Are you excited? Because I am. I think this is still pretty heat. This is still pretty schmacking, if you will. So I am still super excited. But those are my thoughts. Please don't be afraid to drop yours in the comment section down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is That Guy with the Pencil, writing off.